Hello, and welcome to another episode of Taylor Swift Eras Roulette, where I spin a wheel, I listen to a song for the very first time, and I transcribe it by ear as if I had to play it for a last-minute gig this upcoming weekend. Alright, Swifties, I've heard you loud and clear. You want me to dive into the lyrics a little bit more, and maybe even check out some live performances. So today I'm going to switch things up a little bit. The wheel's back, it's locked and loaded. I swapped out All Too Well, the 10-minute version, with the song Don't Blame Me. And I'm going to try to focus a little bit more on the lyrics this time. However, I am a musician and I get distracted by all the stuff going on in the music and the rhythm. So bear with me. Don't hate me if I miss your favorite lyric in this song. But I am going to be writing out a chart for this thing, and we'll see what happens. For those of you who are new around here, this all stemmed from a concept that I was doing. It was called Spotify Roulette. And I'd focus on the music, and I would also focus on the arrangement, write out a little chart in my own shorthand, and go from there. The reason why I haven't really gotten into live versions is because I kind of, for the concept of this whole thing, I kind of see it as cheating. You know, I can see what the guitarists are doing, so it makes it a lot easier. I was wanting to rely solely on my ears for this. But the people have spoken. Another thing I'm switching up is today, I brought my acoustic guitar with me. I'm dusting this thing off. I touch this thing maybe 2 or 3 times a year. I'm 100% a electric guitarist, but I thought this would be a fun day to break out the old acoustic guitar. It's kind of, we had a dense fog advisory in my area. It's kind of dreary outside today, and we're first day of fall, and I just love, this is my favorite time of year. I love it. I'm hoping that we're going to get a song today that just pulls at the heartstrings. So for the sake of this video series, I've been intentionally not listening to Taylor's other music. I'm going to have to change that pretty soon. The more I hear about like the Folklore album and the Evermore album, the more I really want to listen to some of her stuff, and I will get there. I'm going to check out her entire catalog. Today, after I get done filming this though, I'm going to check out the Miss Americana documentary on Netflix, just to kind of dive a little bit deeper. Hopefully I won't pick up any musical themes too fast in that, or musically like spill the beans as far as listening to songs that I don't need to be listening to for the purpose of this series. But that's fine. I'm a musician. I love music. I want to hear more of Taylor's music, so we'll get there. Now, the entire reason I got into listening to Taylor Swift songs is because I had never heard them before. On Monday this week, I posted my top 10 favorite albums of the last 25 years, just so you can get an idea of what I've been listening to, because people are like, man, how have you never heard this Taylor Swift stuff? Well, in the last video I said I actively avoided pop music for 25 years, and I've been listening to bunch of music throughout history, jazz, improvisational music. So go check that out if you get a chance, because I'm sure that there's at least one album on that list that you probably never heard before. Anywho, the entire reason I got into this was because I am a diehard Chiefs fan, as you can tell by the Chiefs stuff back here. And just like some of you who are Taylor Swift fans coming to the Kansas City Chiefs right now, we kind of have this mutual thing going on, but it's also coming from opposite directions. So with that, I want to take just a moment. We're going to do a little Chiefs chat. If you don't care about the Chiefs chat, just fast forward to the wheel spin. I'll post that in the chapters in this video. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the Chiefs a little bit. We just finished our 3rd game of the season. We're going into week 4 of the season. Got a big game coming up this weekend versus the Ravens. Baltimore Ravens are one of the best teams in the AFC, the same conference that the Chiefs play in. And it's going to be at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. So we have a tall task ahead of us. We just played the New York Giants week 3. Week before that, we had a Super Bowl rematch versus the Eagles, who we managed to stay fairly competitive in that game, but that one was a heartbreaker. So last night's game was versus the New York Giants, like I said. We kind of started off a little bit slow. The Giants, they brought in Russell Wilson as quarterback this year. Last night, the Chiefs were able to kind of throw him off a little bit. It didn't really have too much success. They also drafted a quarterback in the, I want to say the first round of the NFL draft this year, and they had a couple of specific packages to put him in. But really the Giants' defense, and man, that new running back, Scatabo, well, I don't know what his first name is, but yeah, I remember him. He was at Arizona State University, college that I graduated from, University of Kansas. Arizona State came into our conference last year and actually won the conference, probably because of Scatabo. And they have a coach who, I don't even think the coach is 40 yet. He's probably in his mid to late 30s. But they're going to be good for a really long time. Scatabo was incredibly impressive. And then also, oh man, I forget the edge rusher's name, but they drafted a new edge rusher who's just a dog. That dude's good. Anyway, that's beside the point. Chiefs went in to New York. Technically, they play in New Jersey, but Chiefs went in there. They were a little bit flat. They were a lot bit flat, actually, the first half. Then they started to kind of gain some steam in the second half and, lock it in. They got their first win of the season. And man, Patrick Mahomes, my goodness, he had some of the last 2 weeks he's had some of the most heads up plays I've ever seen. And he pretty much does that. It didn't work out last week because we lost, but this week definitely Patrick saved us. But I'm excited going into this week. I think that we're going to be getting some players back here in the next couple weeks. Our number one wide receiver's been out. He's been suspended for the first six games of the season. Our number two wide receiver, who broke the NFL 40-yard dash record when we drafted him last year, Xavier Worthy, he ran into Kelsey week one and ended up, running into a brick wall. His shoulder popped out of joint. Ugh. But, that was just kind of a fluke. Those are just kind of things that happened. But he's going to be out for a little bit. Hopefully he'll be back. And then we have a young and up-and-coming wide receiver that I think we pulled in the offseason from the New England Patriots. And his name's Tyquan Thornton. And, man, he had just some great plays. And I know he was kind of a standout in training camp. So we're going to keep our eye on Tyquan Thornton. Also, the other tight end, Noah Gray, stepped up and made some plays last night. He was really starting to get hot there toward the end of last season. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Noah Gray can do. Our defense locked down. They were pretty locked down last night. They did give up one touchdown, and then the Giants, I think we blocked the extra point on that one. But yeah, the defense has been pretty good. Anyway, we still have a lot of room to grow, and we have a long ways to go on this season. So we're coming up on week 4, almost at the quarter point in the season. You know what else is coming up here pretty soon, around the quarter to the third point of the Chiefs season? Taylor's new album, The Life of a Showgirl. So I'm going to be tuning into that one here when that pops up. But anyway, back to the Taylor Swift thing. When I started doing videos in June. I'd been wanting to record music-based videos for a long time. I used to teach guitar. I used to gig. Haven't played a single gig since February of 2020 when the pandemic started. And after, that's all I cared about for a really long time. And then I decided not to touch my guitar for a very long time. So yeah, I'm still kind of sloppy. I'm still kind of, getting back into the groove of playing music and dialing my ear back into it. I'm doing this entire channel to reconnect with music and kind of combine some of my passions into one. But I had no idea that these Taylor Swift videos would pop off how they have. My first, maybe 15 videos, I only got a couple dozen up to, 100 or 200 watches on those. What it really wasn't until I started doing the educational shorts that my channel started to get a little bit more exposure. And I still have a long ways to go in that aspect, but ultimately, I'm doing this for fun, and I'm doing this because I love music. And I want to share my passion and my specific interests in music with you guys. So I am pretty impressed that this Taylor Swift videos have gotten as much reach as it has. I've always been obsessed with the notes and the chords and the arrangement and the rhythm and all this other stuff. I am guilty of kind of bypassing lyrics a lot of times. I'm really going to try to put in some extra effort to listen to the lyrics and focus a little more on those. I know that there are probably a ton of people out there who evaluate Taylor's poetry. So I really wanted to come at this from the pure music angle. But the people have spoken, so we're going to get into doing some lyrics. But yeah, that's kind of a disclaimer. I am obsessed with sound. So please bear with me when it comes to my lyrical analysis, All right, so like I mentioned, I swapped out All Too Well with the song Don't Blame Me. And I'll leave a list of all the other songs. The wheel hasn't changed from last week otherwise. But with that, we're going to go ahead and spin. Okay, we got My Tears Ricochet. We're going in. All right, My Tears Ricochet. This is off the 2020 album Folklore, and this is the first Taylor Swift live one we're doing here. I'm pretty excited. This is off of the 2024 Eras Tour Taylor's version. I can't wait. I'm really excited about this. I love live music. I spend a lot of time on YouTube watching live music from bands. So I kind of feel like I'm cheating here, like I said. So I'm probably going to see what the guitarists are doing, but that doesn't mean that we can't go in and pick out the song, make a chart, evaluate stuff. Let's go ahead and get into this thing. Ooh, nice little choral intro. Hear like a little bit of maybe synthesizer in the background along with that.
We gather here, we line up, we've been in a summit. And if I'm on fire, you'll be made of ashes too. Even on my worst day, did I deserve, babe, all the hell you gave me?
So far we have
I loved you, I swear I loved you.
man, what production. Wow. This is unbelievable. Now I saw one live version of Taylor's it was the Shake It Off at Titans University. That was after I had already posted the Shake It Off video, which was the first Taylor Swift song I heard. Yeah, so we have some chords going on in the background. Something like that. I'm probably off pitch here, but we'll pick that out.
My dying day, I didn't have it in myself to go.
I think we have some different chords here.
And you're the hero flying around, saving face. And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name,
Strings in the background.
look at how my tears ricochet. We gather stones, never knowing what they'll mean. Some to throw, some to make a diamond ring.
Okay, I hear some vocoder in the background. It's like kind of a cross between, it's when the vocal track goes into kind of a synthesized thing. It keeps it perfectly on pitch. People have been using vocoders for a long time, and there's just a million different variations of that in today's world. Such a cool sound. It's a really cool
You
sound.
know I didn't want to have to haunt you, but what a ghostly scene. You wear the same shoes
I hear
that
some-
I gave you as you
Maybe some
buried
couple of
me.
kick drums in the background.
I didn't have it in myself to go with grace. 'Cause when I'd fight, you used to tell me I was brave. And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet. And I can go anywhere I want, just not home. And you
Oh man. Wow. Okay. All right. I know I'm probably pausing and you guys are like, oh my gosh, this is a good part. I imagine. But man, that swirling effect kind of with the vocals and all that stuff coming in and the drums. I was thinking, okay, this is great. I wasn't wanting to watch a live version so I wouldn't see, people playing chords on guitar and figure it out. But yeah, this is perfect because none of the band really hasn't come in yet until now. So I think I'm gonna back it up just a skosh. I love that word. And let's get into this part.
and I can go anywhere I want, just not home. And you can name all my highs.
piano.
Battleships will sink.
Just playing those chords.
You had to kill me, but could you just
Man, there's just a lot of dynamic stuff going on in this song. It's just kind of back and forth. Now, I'm not really getting too much there. It's a little bit, because it's recorded live and in a stadium, you know, the instrumentation is a little bit what I would call boomy, and they can't help that. Just that's the way that acoustics work. So I'm going to try to parse out some of those notes. So far, I think I've only noticed really like maybe 2 different chord progressions going on in there. And it's really just all about the dynamics of the song. And wow, how about this production style? This is over the top. I love it. This is what art is all about. Keep it rolling. Big stadium. Hear more of that vocoder in the background. All right, well, that was pretty impressive. I mean, what an amazing production. I couldn't imagine being at that Eras tour. Just the grandiose everything about it. I don't know what the words I'm looking for, but that is quite a spectacle. You know, actually, I just picked up my guitar. Before I do that, I do want to go in and check out these lyrics. Obviously, the title, My Tears Ricochet, has a lot of strength to it within itself, so I need to go back and check this out. And when I go back and transcribe this thing, I'm going to be listening to the official studio version of this song, just so I can kind of hear all the stuff going on in there. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go through the lyrics here. We gather here, we line up, weeping in a sunlit room, and if I'm on fire, you'll be made of ashes too. Even on my worst day, did I deserve, babe, all the hell you gave me? 'Cause I loved you, I swear I loved you, till my dying day. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace, and you're the hero flying around, saving face. And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricocheted. Yeah, that's really good. Obviously, we're talking about a relationship that is dissolved here. Kind of the theme of the last one, All Too Well. Although I know that one was written previously. Let me know if... I don't think this was a re-recorded album. I don't really know, to be honest. You know I didn't want to have to haunt you. But what a ghostly scene. As you wear the same jewels I gave you as you bury me. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace, 'cause when I'd fight, you used to tell me I was brave. And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricocheted. So, I mean, that's the chorus section here. And I can go anywhere I want, just not home. And you can aim for my heart, go for blood. But you would still miss me in your bones. And I still talk to you when I'm screaming at the sky. And when you can't sleep at night, you hear my stolen lullabies. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace. And so the battleships will sink beneath the waves. You had to kill me, but it killed you just the same. Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. You turned into your worst fears. You're tossing out blame, drunk on this pain. Crossing out the good years, and you're cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricocheted. That's very sad. That's very sad. I mean, obviously this is definitely about a relationship gone awry. And they definitely hurt each other at different times and in different ways. But yeah, the part, we gather stones, never knowing what they'll mean. Some to throw, some to make a diamond ring. You know I didn't want to have to haunt you, but what a ghostly scene. You wear the same jewels that I gave you as you bury me. I don't know if that's a metaphorical or if that's like a actual thing. And you know, now I'm really intrigued about who she's talking about here. either way, it was inspiration for an amazingly well-crafted song. And obviously, this is in the past, and Taylor has gone on to bigger and better things now. So it's definitely this person's loss, whoever it is. But Taylor she has a lot to say. And she definitely knows how to craft some lyrics. I mean, she is 100% a poet. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and listen to the musical value of this song. It's a great arrangement. As I mentioned while I was reacting to that, there is a lot of dynamics going on in this song. And it's kind of, the song itself kind of ricochets, starts off mellow, and the drums come in and kind of bring everything to life, and then boom, it gets shot back down. It's kind of a metaphorical thing for actually ricocheting, musically speaking. Let's go ahead and analyze some of these chords. Well, let's figure out what key this is in first. We're going to figure out some chords, going to write a little chart for this thing, and we'll keep it rolling here. Again, this is going to be from the studio version, just so I can hear it a little bit better. Some organ on the beginning of this track.
Here we line up, weeping in a sunlit room. And if I'm on fire, you'll be made of ashes too. Even on my worst day, did I deserve, babe, all the hell you gave me? 'Cause I loved you.
So, as far as what I'm hearing in the bass line, G, A, E, F. Okay, that's a minor chord there. So we're starting off with an A minor to a G, E minor, F. All right, so I think that kind of sounds like it would be in the key of C with those kind of chords. Although this definitely sounds like it's minor in nature overall. So, well, the reason why I would say C major is, you have the A minor here. Which A minor is going to be your 6th chord. Then you have G, which would be your 5 chord in the key of C. Then you have your E minor, which is going to be the 3 chord in the key of C. And then F, which would be your 4 chord, bringing it back to A minor. I'll play it down here. All right, what was that other chord? E minor, F. Okay, and then, if you don't know music theory too much, you have these things called relative minor. So these relative minor chords kind of, it's going to be the same chord layout, but everything just kind of shifts a little bit. So if I was in the key of C major, C would be my 1 chord. And if I was, C major, A minor have the same sets of chords. So if I'm the key of A minor is going to be my 1 chord instead of C. And then, A minor in the key of C would be the 6th chord. I don't know if that, don't worry about that, any of that stuff if it doesn't make any sense to you. But, for the purpose of how I think, I'm probably going to say it's C minor. But, if you're doing it in the key of A minor, or, sorry, I'm getting confused. I'm confusing myself here. Not C minor, C. And then if I was in the key of A minor, A minor would be my 1 chord. And then G would be my 7 chord, technically. E minor would be my 5 chord. F would be my 6 chord. But, I'd rather put it in the key of C, so I'm going to say A minor, you're gonna start off with the 6th chord. G, which is the 5 chord. E minor, which is the 3 chord. And F, which is the 4 chord. So in the key of C, that would be a 6, 5, 3, 4 chord progression. So I'm gonna talk about it in those terms. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on here. Keep going.
I swear I loved you till my dying day. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace. And you're the hero flying.
Okay, I need to back that up a little bit.
Been on my worst day, did I deserve, babe, all the hell you gave me? 'Cause I loved you, I swear I loved you till my dying day. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace.
There we go. Then now we're hitting the C major. Oh, that's a minor chord.
And you're the hero flying around safe.
F. Okay, so that is a C, D minor. I think A minor, F. Is that right? Back that up a little bit.
Myself to go with grace. And you're the hero flying around safe.
Yep. C, D minor, A, F. All right, so we've got the C, D, A minor, F. So I will put this in the key of C, since when we get into what I think is the chorus section there, I don't know, I've only heard the song once, but I think that goes to the 1 chord, which is going to be C. D minor is going to be your 2 chord. A minor is going to be your relative minor to C. That's going to be your 6 chord. And then F's going to be your 4 chord in the key of C. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. Let's keep going.
And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet.
There's kind of some ambient stuff going on there in the background in this studio recording here.
Never knowing what they'll
Okay, so we're in the A section of chords here.
throw. Some to make a diamond ring. You know I didn't want to have to harm you, but what a ghostly scene. You wear the same jewels that I gave you as you bury me. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace. 'Cause when I'd fight, you used to tell me I was brave. And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I
It's building.
look at how my tears ricochet. And I can go anywhere I want, just not home. And you can name from my heart.
I like that.
But you would still miss me in your arms. And
Love the strings.
to you, and when you can't sleep at night,
Really good production value. I can't wait to go back and listen to these albums. I mean, was this Evermore or Folklore? I don't know. I'm a naive and quasi-ignorant Taylor Swift fan right at this point. Still learning about this stuff. I do really like this stuff, though. The drum track is great. Strings are really nice on this track. And the ooze and the vocal textures in the background. A lot of layers there. Man, it sounds so good. I keep saying this is all just so dynamic. This was fun being able to check out a live version and then going back and listening to the studio version. The live version, I could just hear there's a couple sets of chords in there going back from a verse to a chorus. The song is all about the lyrics. It's all about the emotion. My tears ricochet. I mean, that's a powerful phrase right there. And Taylor is really kind of a master of being able to express herself in a very metaphorical way and be able to articulate her feelings to maybe make those tears ricochet back at the listener or whoever this song was written for. And to that point, I'm saving a little bit of paper here because I'm using my nice manuscript paper. I got one of these. If you're a musician and you write charts and stuff, this manuscript paper is great. Little plug for the Mel Bay folks. Just tear it off and roll with it. But yeah, I cut a previous one down and wrote it here. That is a really interesting chord progression. It's you're still using. I mean, musically, you can't help but use all of these combinations of chords in various ways. But yeah, that's a nicely crafted chord progression there. 2 chord progressions. And, not something that you hear every single day, which I appreciate as someone who loves variety, and I love high information music as far as the notes are concerned. So yeah, we've got a 6-5-3-4 here for the verse section. A minor, G, E minor, F. And then a B section, which is going to be your chorus, is going to be a 1-2-6-4. So C is going to be your 1 chord, D minor is your 2 chord, A minor is the 6 chord, and F is the 4 chord. If you want to play that at home, there you go. All right, so I may not be the most articulate lyric reviewer, not nearly as articulate as Taylor is with her wordsmithing. But yeah, I love the musical value of all this. And going back and listening to that studio version, there's just so many layers and textures. And, there's so much going on in this song. It really proves that, there's 2 sets of chords here. But these 2 sets of chords, the chord progression is interesting. The dynamics used in piecing all these little bits of the arrangement together just really add a very interesting element to the song. I'm really glad that I got to hear both versions for the first time. And I hope that you can get something from this. I hope that even if you aren't a musician, that you see that there is a pattern to everything. And there is a rhyme and a reason to everything that you hear. And this is a pretty, complex song, not just the chords, but like just layering the strings, all the vocal arrangements, and all, the drums coming in at specific times, and it echoes what is going on in the lyrics in the song. Or I guess ricochet would be a better term. But yeah, My Tears Ricochet, Taylor Swift, off the Folklore album. And I can't wait to go back and listen to this entire Folklore album. I think that this is going to be really my foot into the Swiftie world. Just because it seems so emotional and very songwriter. I mean, all of her stuff so far that I've heard. Shake It Off is a party song. I wouldn't necessarily say that is one that, would belong on an album like this. But I know that she did some collaboration stuff on Folklore with Bon Iver. I know one of those songs was on the list. I've listened to some Bon Iver in the past. So I can't wait to go into this. And right after I'm done filming this, right here, right now, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm not even going to start editing this video. I'm going to go and I'm going to watch Miss Americana from beginning to the end. And yeah, I might be exposed to a little bit more of her, songs and that. And that's okay. I'll just be able to pick it up if I spin those songs in the future. I'll be able to pick that up faster. But it'll give me a little more insight into the motive behind, Taylor's writing and her compositional style. So with that, I want to thank you for joining me for this episode. If you like this video, please like. If you want to see more stuff, please subscribe. I also do, I'm pausing on the Spotify roulette stuff, and I'm focusing just on Taylor's stuff until her new album drops here in a couple weeks. But I also do a lot of music theory, guitar technique kind of stuff. So if you're into that, check it out. In the future, I'm also going to do a little bit. I'm a DIY kind of dude. And so during the pandemic, one of my projects, after I had stopped playing gigs, one of the things I like to do to keep the music going is I got into learning about electronics. And I learned there's something called breadboarding, where, you have all these little electronic components, you put them in this board, and then, turn everything on, and I could put, knobs on there, and I swap stuff out, and I can kind of customize my own tone. So in the future, I'm going to pull out one of my breadboards and kind of show you what's on my breadboard, get into a little bit of that stuff. We're going to keep rolling with this Taylor Swift stuff through the beginning of the Chiefs season here and until her new album drops. But with that, yeah, I can't wait to go check out this Miss Americana documentary. I just found out about this morning. And to all you new Chiefs fans out there, we got a big game on tap coming up this week versus the Baltimore Ravens. It's going to really put them to the test. And it's going to be a big challenge because that is a very tough team, and they are always in the mix at the end of the season. So we'll see how we do. You never know. Every team's different year to year. But I think the Chiefs they're going to start to gel. And we're going to start increasing the tally on the win column there as the weeks go on and as the season progresses. So to all of you other NFL enthusiasts out there whose teams aren't the Chiefs, I still have a great appreciation for you guys. And I love football as a whole. I watch as many games as I can. Doesn't matter who's playing. And I love to see the competition. I played football as a kid, and it's just one of my favorite things in the world to watch. And this is just the best time of year. I love fall. So and Taylor's music just seems like good fall music. So follow along. If you want to hear the music that I'm into, check out the video I posted earlier this week, my top 10. Also check out the other Taylor Swift Eras Roulette videos if you're interested in seeing the chord structure and all that stuff. I don't talk as much about the lyrics in those, and I caught a little flack from the Swifties, so that's why I'm trying to make an effort to focus on lyrics, even though I'm a music guy, and I just am completely obsessive over everything music. Thanks again. I appreciate you checking this video out, and I hope to see you next time.